And the mayor invited me, but we sold everything we own. And I've spent a lot of money on this. So if you are looking for a Filipino partner, so if I was a single guy, I would go where I was a rock star.
In today's video, we're going to sit down with Michael, a fellow Canadian who owns a Canadian Beaver Bar and Grill in Roxas, Capiz in the Philippines. We're going to do a 3-part series. This is one of 3. His life, stick around for his home and his business. Coming up next, if you enjoyed this story at any point, hit the subscribe button. Here's our interview. Please tell us your name and where you're from.
Well, my name is Michael. I came from Toronto, Canada, essentially, Mississauga area.
Oh, that's where I'm from.
Yes, it is.
You knew that too.
Small world, brother.
All right, man. What are you doing here in Roxas, Iloilo?
Well, this is actually Roxas, Capiz, the next province from Iloilo, but it's very close. It's about 2.5-hour drive from Iloilo City to get here to the border, like an hour, but it's a great spot for me. When I lived in Iloilo City for about 1 year and 8 months, and then before that in Boracay for 8 months, and both of those places had parts of what I wanted out of my life, being here in the Philippines. And what was I looking for when I left Canada, the cold, cold Canada? And I love the beach, but I also like conveniences. You grow up in the Western world, you kind of get used to a lot of things, and you want to keep those things if possible. And Iloilo City gave me all of the modern things I was looking for. Boracay, living there, gave me the beach. But there's not really a lot of the conveniences that you're looking for. So when I found out about Roxas City, and it was by accident, I was vlogging at the Mango Festival in Guimaras, and the mayor invited me to come to his city. He's like, you got to come and see this. And so I came, and I spent a week here, and I fell in love, and that was it, because it had all of those checkboxes that I wanted. I wanted to live on a beach and be near an airport and be near the malls and things like that I can get. But have that, it's almost like a provincial life, but a provincial beach type life, but within the city. And I don't know, I've been all over the Philippines. I feel like there's, some places I've missed, I'm sure, but I haven't found anything else like this, and still affordable. You can find it in maybe Tanglao in Bohol, in Bohol, maybe something like that, but you're going to pay 4, 5, 6 times the amount of money that it is to live here. So it kind of is all the check boxes. So that's why I picked it, and I love it here.
Hey, well, are you here by yourself? Are you with someone? What's the relationship status like?
Well, I'm in a newer relationship, I guess you could say. It was April or May of this year that we started dating. It kind of went really, really fast because she needed a place to live. And so I helped her get a place to live. And when I did that, I was in the transition of trying to find a place to live and everything. And so I rented a temporary house sort of thing, or backup house. It was only 10,000 pesos a month. And I said, okay, you need a place to live. We weren't really dating or anything. She didn't seem interested anyway. And I said, but she was needing a place to live badly. She ran into a situation. So I said, okay, well, I spend too much time traveling. I'm never home. Go ahead and you be my housekeeper, whatever. Take care of the house. You cook when I'm there. You do my laundry when I'm there, that kind of thing. There's 2 bedrooms here. You and your daughter can have one. I gave her the master bedroom, everything. And I said, but I don't want any problems for my life, and it's not going to cost you a penny. And, well, then once we lived together for about a month, between my traveling and everything, well, we got to know each other and everything. And, well, kind of the rest is history, because when I found the house here, I invited her to join me here, and we've been a couple ever since. So it just happened. Just worked out that way.
Perfect. What do you like about the Philippines? I mean, of course, the weather and all that. Just life here.
Well, I just came back from Vietnam this week, or last week, something like that. And they have, obviously, they're going to have better infrastructure. They're going to have a lot more available if you go to the stores and building materials. And, they're not an island of nation, or a nation of islands. They are a mainland, very close to China, where you can get a lot of things. And that part, I was very impressed. But I was homesick, and I couldn't wait to get back to the Philippines for one reason, and that is the culture and the people here. You feel spoiled once you spend time in the Philippines, and then you go other places. You're like, oh, everybody speaks English in the Philippines. Everybody. It doesn't matter who it is. You walk down the street, and they're like, hello, welcome to my country. Welcome to the Philippines. Have a shot of Tanduay or whatever. Everybody is incredibly friendly and so happy that you're there. You're there in their country. You didn't get that feeling when I went to Vietnam, and when I was in Cambodia, it was the same thing. So The Philippines for me is those two things. It's not because they've got the latest technology and the latest infrastructure and no, none of that stuff. And sure, you can find it in very specific areas. But there's one thing that doesn't matter where you go in this country, from the top to the bottom, and that is the language, the people, the culture.
Tell me a little bit of your living situation. Are you renting? Are you owning a home? What's going on with you?
So yeah, I rent here on the beach. Like I said, it's a new relationship. I wasn't going to buy a house and put it in her name, that kind of thing. Although there are ways, and I know that, but it's just complicated and expensive. So I only wanted a lease, so I did a long-term lease because I couldn't find anything on the beach that ticked my boxes. I would go and I would see one and I'd make a deal with them. I'd even say, okay, I need to do a bunch of this work, and they weren't going to do it. I said, okay, fine. I'll rent it, say $25,000 a month, but I'm going to spend X amount fixing the roof or whatever had problems. And then when it came time for the lease, they turned around and said, oh, we want $80,000 now. I'm like, what? So I kept running into weird switch and bait situations, and it wasn't pleasant at all. But then I found this one, and the one I'm renting in now has a lot of potential, but you have to see the potential, and I also know what's available. And I got it for $20,000 a month. So $363, something like that, per month to live right on the beach. I'm staring at the beach now as we talk together right now.
I'll be sure to go ahead and do another video completely about your living conditions, because I'm very interested about that.
Oh, it's amazing. And I've spent a lot of money on this, but in proportion. So how long I'm leasing it for, so.
Speaking of money, tell me, how are you earning money now? Like, are you retired right now? You look like a young man.
Oh no, I'm a YouTube vlogger, right? I left Canada with savings and all that. We left, I left married, number one. Me and my wife were YouTube vloggers, became YouTube vloggers. But we sold everything we owned, had that money, of course, and savings and stocks and all kind of things like that. Now the marriage didn't work out, and she goes her own separate way, and she continues to YouTube vlog and everything else, and has a new partner. And then I started a new channel and got the name back from the other one, so that was kind of cool. And we kind of went our separate ways there. Yeah, financially, it was just YouTube. Now, the bar and restaurant I own down here, it doesn't make any money yet. It takes about, from what people I talk to, 9 months to maybe 12 months before you'll actually turn a profit or break even, that kind of thing. It takes a significant investment, and then it takes time for people to learn you're here, even in town. Even as a YouTube vlogger, I bring in a lot of people from other countries and other parts of the Philippines, but to reach the local audience just takes word of mouth, and eventually people will find out about you. And so I'm hoping that we're not that much further in, because June I opened, so it's been about 5 months now. So I'm hoping within the next few months.
That's the Canadian Beaver, right?
That's right. Canadian Beaver Bar and Grill.
Bar and Grill. I'm going to make another video about that, because I have a lot of questions. I want to know about business. I want to know about what it takes. A lot of us want to come to this country.
Yeah.
I stay here permanently, long-term, invest. So I'm going to be a lot more business-minded in the next interview. But I have a couple more questions about life here in the Philippines. A lot of guys want to come here for relationships. You've been with a Filipina here now. What advice can you give them about finding a partner, living with them, anything at all that would help somebody come in?
Well, for me, when I give people advice, it's very limited, number one. I didn't come here single, and I was single for a very short period of time because I met the girlfriend I have now by accident. I had just been 3-4 months of a separation with my ex-wife. I wasn't really thinking of dating yet, or getting my life together was essentially the biggest thing for me. But she watched my YouTube vlog, and then met when she knew I was going to her town. She met in the plaza and said hello and joined the YouTube. And then I literally said, I turned that whole video into I was kidnapped by a Filipina, a provincial girl. I was kidnapped by a provincial girl. The video got I think 250,000 views now, something like that. And so she took me around because she was from there, so it was perfect. And like I said, didn't seem to be interested in me. So we have a few videos where it was obvious that we weren't going to date, but she was just playing hard to get, I guess. Anyway, so what I tell other people, just based on me going to so many parts of the Philippines and what I can see with my own eyes, is go to the smaller towns that are still near a city, right? Not too far from a city. Because what happens is if you're really far from a city, generally the kids will leave home to go to university at 19, 20, 25, 20, and then they'll do a career and all of that. So if you are looking for a Filipino partner, you have to go where the dating pool is, right? And so I find the really far away provincial towns are mostly men. The women are often working in the city and gone, and many young men too, don't get me wrong. But yeah, you're not going to have the same percentage of that age 20 to 35. So we're talking career-minded, career-aged, whatever working. They're all going to be gone to a city. But once they get into the city, they may not have the same goals as you have, that kind of thing, because they may be very just career-minded, right? And you might be a retired person. And if you're a retired person looking for somebody, you don't want somebody who's going to be gone 10 hours or 12 hours a day working 6 days a week. So you need somebody who still fits all the categories that you kind of want. And so I say like an hour outside of Iloilo City, for example, there's a place called Benate, and they have a big crab festival and everything. And every time I go there, I'm like, oh my God, there's so many beauties everywhere. Everybody's like a beauty pageant queen, and they're everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And I think they have 5 or 7, I can't remember, they told me 5 or 7 foreigners living anywhere near there, and everybody knows who they are, and they're like rock stars. So if I was a single guy, I would go where I was a rock star.
All right,
that's
guys.
full of beauties.
Now you know where to go, and hopefully it's not swarming with men in the future.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of those. That's the point, right?
Yeah.
Like there's many places just like that.
So would you say you'd do this all over again if you could do, or do you regret coming here, anything like that?
God, no. Number one, I don't live my life with regrets. That's if you are somebody who just sold everything, said fuck it, quit your job, everything, and went to a whole other country, you probably aren't somebody who lives with a lot of regrets. Do we make mistakes? Sure, but then those mistakes are the reason that you got to a point that you got to, because you learned things along the way and you met people because you did this, led you to that. So no regrets, absolutely no regrets. Could I go back in time and tweak a few things? Of course, everybody would say yes to that, but I don't regret anything because I learned a lot of things along the way, especially starting a business. And, I had no clue when starting a business here in the Philippines. I had an impression that was clearly wrong, 100% clearly wrong. And so I learned a lot from that. So if I were to start a business today, it wouldn't be the same way I started 6 months ago. But outside of that, like, no regrets.
Okay, well, I can't wait to find out more about your business and your home you're building here for yourself to stay in. Let us know a bit about your YouTube channel so we can follow your journey here in the Philippines.
Sure, yeah. I travel all over the Philippines. I show some of my daily life now because I'm a little preoccupied with it. But most of the time, it's where's the best places to live. I go and look at and see what cost of living is in every city I go to, every town I go to. See what kind of rentals are available in those areas, because I genuinely am interested. So I don't do that. This is so amazing on every little thing. I only do videos that I actually have curiosity towards. So that subject I'm actually curious about. And so anywhere I travel to or go and see or whatever, all things I'm interested in. And apparently a lot of people are also interested in the same thing. So it's worked out really well for me. So it's called That Philippines Life. Basically, it's everything that is in my Philippines life and all the things that I'm curious and interested in.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Now, my pleasure.
And that was Michael. Leave your thoughts down below. Go on over, check out his channel. He's got a wonderful vlog style channel regarding life in the Philippines. That was video 1 of 3. The next 2 are about his business and the home he's upgrading. So stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Share your thoughts down below. If you take your time to write it, I'll take your time to respond. That's it for this video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.